Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Heart Association's 2024 National Volunteer Awards. Tonight is going to be an amazing night. I'm Kristen Diaz, anchor of News Radio 1080 KRLD, coming to you live from the American Heart Association's National Center right here in Dallas, Texas. Now, tonight, we will be recognizing 13 remarkable leaders for their exemplary service. The awardees we'll see and hear from this evening have shown us what it takes to be bold, acting with courage, vision, and commitment to make an extraordinary impact on our mission. They dedicate not only their valuable time, but their expertise and passion to move the association forward. And in doing so, they have deeply impacted so many people's lives in so many different ways. So let's go ahead and get ready to have some fun, grab your popcorn, and show how proud we are of all of them right now. For those of you online watching on our live broadcast via YouTube, take a moment right now to sign in. When you do, you can leave us a comment in the chat box below telling us where you are tuning in from. Now, we're going to be watching the conversations. We're going to be highlighting some of your posts tonight, so please continue to leave comments and congratulate our awardees throughout the show. This evening, we'll be a small little family tonight. We also encourage you to celebrate our awardees on social media using the hashtag #AwardsWithHeart. That's awards with an S. You can share your congratulations, you can post a photo from your watch party, or just let everyone know you're watching so that you can join in as well. You know, share it with a friend, you can share the link. Let's take a look at what people are saying actually right now. And it's actually the comments are popping. That's what I can say right now. Marcella Roberts says, hello from Birmingham, Alabama, ready to celebrate the honorees. Also hearing from Francesca Martinez, hello, hello, hello. Tuning in from D-Town, Dallas, Texas. So excited to celebrate and honor all of the awardees. Also, Grace Steinhauser, I'm tuning in from New York City. So excited to celebrate all of the well-deserving awardees tonight. We love the energy. I love that you guys are communicating with us this evening. That's how it's going to be throughout the night. Now, we know our audience is ready, so let's go ahead and welcome in our hosts for the evening. Joining me now are the American Heart Association's chairperson of the board, we have Marcia Jones, President Dr. Joseph Wu, and Chief Executive Officer Nancy Brown. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Kristen. It's a pleasure to have you join us tonight as we recognize some outstanding volunteer leaders for their efforts this year. I'm honored to be joined with my dear friends, Joe and Nancy, and it is a special privilege to be co-hosting this event during the American Heart Association Centennial Year. Throughout our history, we've seen the impact of our dedicated volunteers whose tireless commitment brings to life the AHA mission in communities across the world. And we're so pleased to be able to have the opportunity to recognize some of these outstanding leaders this evening.
Absolutely, Marcia, and thank you so much. We're so grateful to our amazing volunteers. And I would say each of our tonight's honorees personify the theme of Forever Bold. Our honorees' relentless work and dedication helps us make progress every day in building longer and healthier lives. Nancy, what are you most excited about tonight?
Thank you, Joe and Marcia. Well, my gosh, I'm so excited for everyone watching to get a glimpse at the incredible stories of our amazing honorees tonight and to really share in the optimism we have for the second century of the work of the American Heart Association as we remain devoted to advancing health and hope for everyone, everywhere. And there is no doubt the American Heart Association would not be where we are today without our volunteers. So thank you so much. And Kristen, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Marcia, Joe, and Nancy. Looking forward to hearing from you all throughout the evening. And with that, it is time to get started. The first award presented tonight is the Woman Changing the World Award. Nancy, I know you're dear friends with our first honoree, so I'm going to turn the mic back to you.
Thank you, Kristen, and you are absolutely right. Oh. Kristen, you are absolutely right. Elisabeth Rohm is an incredible human being, and you all know her from her work on the Emmy award-winning show Law and Order and the Oscar-nominated films American Hustle and Joy. But today we are recognizing Elisabeth's work that she does on the ground in communities as a tireless advocate for women's heart health. It is my great honor and a personal joy of mine to recognize this year's Woman Changing the World, Elisabeth Rohm. This award is presented each year to a leader who has gone above and beyond to impact the mission of the American Heart Association. As a celebrated actor, director, philanthropist, and co-founder and host of the Respect Project, we have been so fortunate to have Elisabeth serve as a vocal champion for cardiovascular health for almost 14 years. From advocating for CPR nationwide to joining fellow business and community leaders at Go Red for Women events, to shining a bright spotlight on heart health at our Red Dress Collection concert, and in so many other ways, Elisabeth's tireless efforts have engaged women across the country in our mission in new and powerful ways. But perhaps the most important part of Elisabeth's journey has been sharing her own story. After losing her mom, her aunt, and her grandmother far too early in their lives to cardiovascular diseases, she now looks to the future, to her dear daughter, 16-year-old Easton, as the reason for her work. Every day, Elisabeth brings the same care and compassion she embodies as a mother to her volunteer work for the American Heart Association. Elisabeth knows all too well the importance of understanding your family's health history. She knows about taking steps to reduce risk and the power of helping other women do the same. Her goal is very simple, but very important: to create generations of families that enjoy longer, healthier lives together. Elisabeth, on behalf of all of us at the American Heart Association, congratulations on this much-deserved recognition. Thank you for being such a dear friend to all of us at the AHA. We are so grateful for you.
My honor. I'm humbled always when I'm in your presence. And I'm so humbled by this community, especially as we step into the next century of work with the American Heart Association. As Nancy said, I unfortunately lost my mom 14 years ago and my aunt 2 years later. And my father also had heart disease, but thankfully he survived. So it is my great honor and privilege, having lost the most beloved women in my life, to dedicate myself to this work and build a new family with the American Heart Association, with their leaders and scientists and researchers, celebrities, just their community and the volunteers. I continue to be dedicated to this work. I look forward to the future. I look forward to having a healthy and vibrant life myself and advocating for that in others. And as a filmmaker, actress, and speaker, it's about storytelling. It's about being vulnerable and exposed and raw, and telling your story on behalf of other people. I was really privileged to have a mother that really taught me to think of others first, to put my energy out there into the world on behalf of other people. So it is my great honor. I am dedicated. I am grateful for this incredible award. And I'm always so emotional because, of course, this is really the new family I built with the AHA. So I love you guys. Thank you so deeply for this award. And here's to just more beautiful, strong work together as an organization. Thank you.
Well, definitely cheers to that. And what a way to turn your testimony into your testimony. That is just incredible. Now, our next awardee, Dr. Emelia Benjamin, will receive the Louis B. Russell Jr. Memorial Award. Now, Mr. Russell was a black school teacher who defied the odds and made history by surviving more than 6 years after a heart transplant back in 1968. Now, he spread his message of hope and heart health across the U.S., inspiring others living with cardiovascular disease. This award honors outstanding contributions to communities of color and under-resourced populations. And tonight, we have not one, but two recipients to celebrate. Here to present the first award, please welcome Dr. Cheryl Anderson.
I'm truly honored to pay tribute to this year's recipient of the AHA's Louis B. Russell Jr. Memorial Award, Dr. Emelia Benjamin. Dr. Benjamin is not just a scholar and leader in cardiovascular medicine, she is a beacon of inspiration and unwavering dedication to advancing women in medicine and promoting health equity. Dr. Benjamin's research portfolio in genetics, epidemiology, and prognosis has not only transformed the landscape of cardiovascular medicine, but her work in the Framingham study has laid the groundwork for targeted interventions and policies aimed at improving cardiovascular health. Her pivotal work in the second-generation Omni study has extended the fight against disparities in cardiovascular health, allowing for the inclusion of individuals from all racial and ethnic backgrounds and from diverse socioeconomic positions. Dr. Benjamin, your contributions to cardiovascular research are truly remarkable, and your impact extends far beyond the realm of academia. You've touched the lives of countless individuals, not only through your groundbreaking work, but also through your acts of kindness, both big and small. I'll never forget the first time that I met you. It was a chaotic November morning, and I found myself juggling childcare responsibilities and weekend work commitments while rushing to attend an EPI Council meeting in Anaheim. It was stressful, and I feared that I would be late for this very important meeting. But in that moment of desperation, you appeared like a guardian angel, offering a helping hand and breaking a few rules, but without hesitation. Your gesture of support meant the world to me, and it reminded me of the true spirit of camaraderie and compassion that defines our AHA volunteer community. Congratulations to you on this well-deserved honor. You are a rare bird with a perspective in your research that spans from genes to society and a heart that beats for the betterment of all humanity.
Wow. I'm truly humbled by this recognition because we all have so much more work to do to achieve workforce and health equity. In thinking about the Louis B. Russell Jr. Award, I see convergence as a concept that unifies great science with the excellence imperative for diversity, and that similarly unifies the disparate aspects of my career. Convergent science brings together multiple fields, including medical, engineering, population health, behavioral, economic, and political science to create the research, advocacy, and implementation strategies essential for true breakthroughs. As promulgated by Dr. Victor Zhao, the National Academy of Medicine, convergent science provides a transformative approach to solving one of the existential crises of our time, health inequities. By analogy, convergence has enhanced my life and career. My research has made me a stronger clinician, and my clinical work has informed my research. My family life has deepened my perspective as a mentor, and a lifetime of mentoring has improved my capacity for listening to friends and family. I've been blessed as a working mother to have the love of friends, family, and a truly exceptionally supportive husband and children. I am grateful to have practiced cardiovascular medicine at Boston Medical Center, New England's largest safety net hospital and the most racially inclusive in the country. My colleagues and patients have taught me life's real lessons and my true privilege. I've been fortunate to be a researcher at the NHLBI and Boston University's Framingham Heart Study, collaborating with brilliant colleagues and mentees from around the world. I'm deeply appreciative that the AHA has provided me with work, family, volunteer opportunities, and funding that have enriched my life while improving population health. And of course, my deepest career passion has been for faculty development, teaching, mentoring, and coaching diverse trainees and faculty whose advancement has been my greatest professional joy. So I come back to diversity. The AHA always asks why. I ask, why? Why has diversity mysteriously become controversial? Convergent science established that bringing together a wide variety of disciplines creates innovation. An obvious analogy is that a convergent workforce diverse by race, ethnicity, disability, socioeconomic privilege, and even political thought, enables more creative and effective strategies to tackle the fundamental challenge of our time, the need to relentlessly pursue health equity. I end with a heartfelt thank you to AHA, my patients, colleagues, mentees, friends, and my family for the Louis B. Russell Jr. Memorial Award. I am truly grateful.
Our next Louis B. Russell Jr. Memorial Award recipient is Dr. Willie Lawrence. And as a very special surprise, here to present the award are his three children, Xavier, Westbrook, and Mackenzie.
Good evening. I am Xavier Lawrence, Xav to my father, Dr. Willie Lawrence. Tonight, my younger brother, Westbrook, my sister, Mackenzie, and I are here to present our father with the American Heart Association's Louis B. Russell Jr. Memorial Award.
When you grew up, you had no role models that looked like you. And look at us. You are a role model. You have been a long-time American Heart Association volunteer and an inspiration to all three of us.
You always told us, don't ever let someone tell you you can't do something. Well, guess what? There were no limits on you when you were on the AHA's Kansas City, Midwest region, and National Board of Directors. You led the National Hypertension Control Initiative Volunteer Advisory Group, which promotes equitable care and life-saving interventions to reduce blood pressure.
You have always taught us to be decent people, and you have offered a model for that decency in your own life, not just as a father, but as a doctor whom I have watched consistently put his patients and their care first. More than that, and without exception for their circumstances or appearances, you have demonstrated your belief that there should be no limits on good medical care.
As your kids, we know how your patients feel. You always worry about our health, our spirits. You believe in the whole person getting better, not just their hearts, not just their blood pressure. You give on a deeper level by helping the American Heart Association to make sure that no stone goes unturned, that all patients with heart disease get a fighting chance at a longer, healthier life.
You give your knowledge and precious time to AHA, helping doctors learn that all patients deserve quality care. It's such an important, noble cause, and AHA is honoring you tonight for leading the charge.
This award's namesake, Louis B. Russell Jr., was a Black man and only the 34th person to undergo a heart transplant. A fighter, he then survived more than 6 years past the operation, a world record at the time. Before his death in 1974, Russell was, like you, an active AHA volunteer who promoted heart disease prevention in underserved communities. And now, tonight, you get this award named in his honor, and you absolutely deserve it.
Congratulations.
Road not taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. In 1968, Louis B. Russell received a heart transplant and then became a legendary volunteer for the American Heart Association. I imagine that as a young man, this was not his life plan. This was not the road he expected to travel. As I look back on my life, I realized that there was no roadmap. There is no roadmap today. I had practiced as an interventional cardiologist in Kansas City for more than 30 years. That's the road I took, saving lives. That was the job I chose. Then George Floyd happened. This led to some soul searching. What about the road not taken? I decided that if you only managed end-stage heart disease, you could not transform the culture of health of a community. You had to get upstream. At about that time, the hospital system in Southwest Michigan hung up a sign that said Black Lives Matter and made a commitment to achieving health equity for a small community in Southwest Michigan that can be characterized as Black and white, urban and rural. In the middle of a pandemic, I started working in Benton Harbor, Michigan at what is now Corewell Health Center for Wellness. At about that same time, Nancy Brown called me one Sunday evening and asked if I would chair the oversight committee for NHCI. As usual, I said yes. Then I asked, well, what is NHCI? This road less traveled by, it's been an incredible journey. We are meeting people where they are, following the science, and building powerful partnerships. Like many of us, Louis B. Anthony was a volunteer. Volunteerism is at the heart of the American Heart Association. In this role, I get much more than I give. The guiding values of the AHA have been foundational to the work we do every day in Michigan. Gina Smith would say these values are our North Star in the 022. I accept this award on behalf of a truly amazing AHA staff, including Pamela Johnson, Eduardo Sanchez, and Ashley Wagner. We have an incredible oversight committee that taught this interventional cardiologist everything anyone could ever want to know about hypertension and how we can transform hypertension management to achieve better blood pressure control. This is hard work. For me, it could not be achieved without the support of family. I'm here in Atlanta celebrating my sister Terry's birthday and my sister Nancy's retirement as a lawyer in Cleveland. You spend every day of your life hoping that your family, your mother, your father would be proud of the life you lead. You want to be the dad your children, Xavier, Westbrook, and Mackenzie look up to. I am most thankful for my wife, Sandra, who has supported me every week, every day, every hour of this journey. I get back more than I give, but it has been challenging at times. At critical times, she reminds me of this Robert Frost poem. She continues to challenge me to seek excellence and to fear not the unknown. She is my rock. I love her dearly. I thank the AHA for this recognition. It is quite humbling. We have so much work to do. With heart, I thank you.
Our next honor tonight is the Morgan Stark Memorial Award, bestowed to Al Royse. For nearly 30 years, Al has been vital to the AHA's life-saving mission. Here to honor Al, please welcome Bernie Dennis.
Good evening. I'm honored to present the Morgan Stark Memorial Award to a fellow past chairman of the board and a dear friend, Al Royse. For those of you who don't know Al, he spent many years at Deloitte, and maybe it's his consulting background, but he always likes to present things in threes. So, Al, I think it's only fitting that I share 3 reasons you are so worthy of this special award. Number 1, you've changed the way the AHA does business. I have always admired your generosity in sharing your experience and knowledge in both accounting and law. We use this to shape how we achieve our mission. I see your fingerprints throughout our life-saving work, not just in what we do, but in how we do it. Number 2, you stand up for the AHA. As past treasurer and chairman of the board, you have always kept what is right and best for the AHA as your North Star, demanding what we deliver on our obligation to be wise stewards of every dollar we raise. Recently, your leadership has been instrumental to the launch, growth, and mission impact of our venture fund, Cardiation Capital. Also, your voice was crucial and critical in negotiating publishing contracts for our suite of flagship AHA journals. The simple truth is this: wonderful work by a wonderful guy, all done for the benefit of patients, families, the science enterprise, and healthcare professionals. Number 3, finally, you embody Morgan Stark's legacy. As someone who was good friends with Morgan, I know how proud he would be to see you honored with this award. Like you, Morgan was a champion for the association. He excelled at innovating nearly every aspect of our business, from operations to human resources to finances and to investments. Anybody that knew Morgan would know that he was an intense advocate who made us more effective and efficient, demanding that we not settle for anything other than our best effort. He also knew the importance of a strong team of volunteers to put legs under our work and ensure the association's success. Al, I imagine Morgan smiling and nodding his approval seeing the torch he lit burning so brightly in you. For these reasons and so many more, I am deeply honored to present you with the Morgan Stark Memorial Award. Congratulations, friend. You are truly one of a kind.
Well, good evening, and thank you. And Bernie, thank you so much for that kind and generous introduction. Frankly, I think I need to have you do my introduction more often. But anyway, I am particularly pleased not only with this award, but I'm also very honored that Bernie Dennis, the person that's been my mentor, the person I've looked up to for so many years, has been the presenter tonight. So Bernie, thank you very much. Before I do anything, I would like to take a note, though, and express my appreciation and commend the other award winners tonight. I've had a chance to look at their resumes, and what an incredible array of talent, of accomplishments, of impact. I'm honored to be in your company tonight. They don't give us a lot of time for these presentations, so I just want to do a couple of things tonight. One, I want to express my sincere gratitude and my appreciation to the AHA, to the board, and to all the volunteers and staff for this award. It means a lot for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, I knew many of the prior recipients, including Bernie Dennis, and I know the contributions they have made to the AHA. And as they say, if you're known by the company you keep, I'm so glad to be in this company. But secondly, I'm also especially pleased to accept this award because it stands for excellence in our operations. And I believe Morgan Stark Memorial Award highlights the other side of the business, the other side of the AHA, the business side. You know, whether it's finance or whether it's investments or HR or the publishing side or the donor and fundraising, whether it's the committees like audit or investment or budget or compensation. This is a critical component of the AHA, and it doesn't always get the visibility and the recognition it should. There's an old saying that mission fuels the funding/operations, and funding operations fuels the mission of the organization. They're interconnected, they're joined at the hip. You can't be successful in one and not the other. And I am so pleased tonight to take the opportunity to highlight some of these individuals just by briefly naming their names, give them some visibility. Because I view this award tonight, although it's been honored to me, is really in behalf of the great people of the AHA and what they do to run this organization so seamlessly and so exceptionally. So I want to just name a few of the people that I've had the chance to work with. And I'm going to apologize in advance because I can't name them all. There are 3,200 employees at the AHA, and that would take too long, obviously. But there are a few I want to highlight. Cindy Roberts, our incredible CFO. She manages the finances for $1 billion organization and does so exceptionally well. Larry Cannon, our Chief Administrative Officer, who puts it all together and makes sense out of all the different segments of our operations. Les Pritchett, our EVP for Human Resources. There's a reason that the AHA is commonly named as a place to be, one of the best workplaces in all the nonprofits. In Development and Ops, Susie Upton, our amazing Chief Operating Officer. Man, she has done so much for this organization. It's unbelievable, and so much for all of us as volunteers. Tanya Edwards, who's now the EVP for the Southwest region. But when I worked with her, she was in development and strategy. And I remember working with her and her committee on developing the 10-year strategic revenue plan. Heather Goodall from our VP of Scientific Publishing. You know, it's our journals are among those most lauded in the medical field, and there's a reason for that. I also want to mention Cardiation Capital. Bernie mentioned it. That was a venture that we embarked upon during my chairmanship, and I feel very proud of it because it represents the innovative side of our business. Its goal is to help bring new technologies and therapies to market quicker rather than later and impact the lives of so many of Americans, and also generate a revenue, an exceptional return that can be used in other venues and other initiatives of the AHA. So I am so pleased and so proud to have been a member of the AHA, to have been a volunteer with it. So in closing, let me again thank the AHA, thank the board for this honor and this privilege. I am so proud to be standing, at least virtually, with so many volunteers and staff that have made such an impact. And I want to thank the HA for giving me the opportunity for being able to serve in accomplishing and moving forward this incredible mission that the HA has. So thank you for this honor. I appreciate it very much.
Next, we have the Ron Haddock International Impact Award, and tonight's recipient is Dr. D.P. Suresh. Since receiving his first research grant from the AHA in 1998, DP has dedicated himself to expanding cardiovascular science and medicine. Please welcome Dr. Sid Smith to present the award.
It's my great pleasure to present D.P. Suresh with the 2024 Ron Haddock International Impact Award. It's been my honor to serve alongside D.P. as a member of the American Heart Association's International Committee, and I've had the opportunity to witness firsthand his generous support of the AHA through time, talent, and treasure. DP's connection to the AHA goes back more than a quarter of a century, when he received his first AHA research grant as a postdoctorate fellow in 1998. That research grant was the spark that ignited a long and fruitful relationship with the AHA. On the international front, DP's leadership was critical in bringing CPR training to India, where we recently trained more than 300 people in his home state of Tamil Nadu. He has also played an integral role in the expansion of our hospital certification and quality programs, helping us to relate to physicians, health systems, and governments around the world. Our work in Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Mexico has resulted in improved quality of care and access to care for patients with heart failure, heart attack, and stroke. DP has also been a powerful force for the AHA at the local and regional levels. He served as president of both the Midwest region and Cincinnati division boards, and he's a strong advocate for public policies to build healthier communities. DP's passion and his sense of purpose are an inspiration to many, including me. He truly represents the legacy of Ron Haddock and personifies what it means to be a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives. DP, congratulations.
Good evening. Thanks, Dr. Smith. It's an amazing honor to hear you talk about me. I was a fellow when I first saw you on stage about 30 years ago. So it's an amazing, thank you so much for your kind words. I want to start off by thanking Ron Haddock and his family for initiating this award and choosing me to be getting this award. And actually, the award is not for me. The award is for actually the team of international staff all across the world. So I'm just the recipient of the award, but it goes to every one of the staff all across the world who work with me every day. And I actually had a meeting with them last week to tell that this award is actually for all of you. So I'm going to say what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the life of others. This is a quote by Nelson Mandela. What a great way to live today, and how lucky we are to be living at this time in the world in America. But what is even more important is the 100 years that the AHA has done. There have been tremendous strides in terms of what they have done in terms of saving lives and for heart disease and stroke. But it's not about the last 100 years. It's about the next 100 years. And if the last 100 years was about America, the next 100 years should be about the world that we all live in. Every day we come to work here and we don't realize the amount of people who work to make our lives so much better. And in most parts of the world, that is not available. So every one of us today should make sure that what we have learned with the AHA, how can we translate that to the rest of the world? So I would say my award is given for the fact that what we have learned in America over the last 20, 30, 50, 100 years, how can we as a group of not just physicians, staff, volunteers, but also the people in the different parts of the world who may benefit from life-changing work that we can go. So as we speak, we have 4 pilot hospitals in India that we have chosen this year to work on quality initiatives and programs. And the idea is to say we have policies, processes, protocols that we follow in each and every one of our hospitals, that we may have excellent physicians all over the world, but they do not have these policies, processes, and protocols. My mission and our mission in our international section is to see how we could translate this care across the world and take these to India, to China, to the Middle East, to North Africa, to every part of the world. And I would like to say from 300 million people to 3 billion people, we could change the care and change the effect that it has on heart disease and stroke across the world. May 2nd, 1994, I met my beautiful wife and we got married. It is our 30th wedding anniversary today. And, you know, this award, as much as it comes to me, it goes to my wife, Subhadra, and my 2 sons, Srinath and Karthik, who have been with me throughout. I also want to thank my friends and family, my dad, who will watch this later, who is 92 years old, my mom, who's no more, and my staff and friends at St. Elisabeth, who made this my home away from home. I could not have done this without the greater Cincinnati community, without the Northern Kentucky community, without St. Elizabeth, without every one of my volunteers, staff at Cincinnati AHA. I also want to thank Nancy, Susie, John Miners, the whole international staff who have made this a possibility. Thank you once again, and have a great evening.
Amazing. Some amazing honorees there. We are so proud of all of you and your amazing teams. And DP, once again, to you and Subhadra, happy 30th wedding anniversary. Congratulations on achieving 2 wonderful accomplishments on the same day. Enjoy your celebration. Well, continuing with the show, we recently had the pleasure of presenting this year's Voice of the Mission Award to a very special individual who has made a significant impact on the association by using their voice and their personal story to amplify our life-saving mission. Please enjoy the following video highlighting this year's award presentation held February 1st at our Impact with Heart event in New York City.
Damar Hamlin is a name that has become synonymous with hope, healing, strength, and resiliency. For me and for so many others, Damar's story became a hopeful call to action, and his personal journey evolved to create a new kind of impact on the world, turning an unforgettable personal moment into an opportunity to advocate for CPR training and AED access in communities, in schools, and on sports fields to protect young athletes just like him. With the love and support of his amazing and very incredible family, Damar's charity, the Chasing M's Foundation, doubled down on its efforts to impact the next generation. Damar's story was the spark that ignited the American Heart Association's Nation of Lifesavers campaign. He is our national ambassador for this initiative, and we share a goal to ensure that everyone, everywhere, is empowered with the life-saving skill of CPR. For these reasons, and so many more, my dear friend, it is my honor to give you the Voice of the Mission Award of the American Heart Association.
To look back and look at the trail of impact and how many lives that we've saved, it makes my life feel complete. I always wanted to leave a legacy of impact and leave a legacy of making things different for the people that came after me. And this is just the start of the journey. I tell everyone, I feel like I'm just getting started. And 1 year later, we're here right now, and I just can't wait to see where we'll be 365 from here right now. Thank you.
Wow. I mean, I remember when everyone in America was talking about what happened to Damar. Just incredible and a wonderful story. What a wonderful presentation to Damar Hamlin, who is so deserving of this year's Voice of the Mission Award. Just incredible. Well, before we continue, let's check out what's happening on social media. We're looking for those YouTube comments. Let's see who we've got here. Thank you so much. All right, so we have Eduardo Sanchez. Congratulations, Emelia Benjamin. You are a beacon of hope and a source of wisdom to many of us. We're also hearing from Kevin Harker. We are so grateful for you and your leadership, Willie. You inspire us all and you make us better. Thank you. Marcella Roberts also chiming in tonight. Happy 30th anniversary to you and your wife, Dr. DP Suresh. Absolutely. I think that is like, we're all celebrating behind the scenes for them. How awesome is that? We love to hear from you. Keep tuning in with us throughout the night. Don't forget to share the link to family and friends and on social media. All of your congratulations, put that in the chat. Show us your watch parties, all your selfies. I want to see that as well. It is now time, though, to honor 4 outstanding individuals with awards of meritorious achievement, all who have made significant contributions to their communities and beyond. First, we honor the Kroger Company. Dr. Kevin Volpe will present the award, and Rodney McMullen, Chairman and CEO, will accept on behalf of the Kroger Company.
Good evening. It's my distinct privilege to celebrate an exceptional collaboration, one that transcends corporate relationships and resonates with deep compassion and commitment. I'm Dr. Kevin Volpe, Scientific Lead for the American Heart Association's Healthcare by Food initiative, and it's my honor to present the Kroger Company with the Award of Meritorious Achievement. Kroger has made a profound impact on our mission. As the inaugural collaborator and an unwavering champion of the Healthcare by Food initiative, Kroger's leadership has ignited a transformative movement, one that extends far beyond supermarket aisles. Like the American Heart Association, Kroger recognizes that food is not merely sustenance, it's powerful medicine that can help nourish, heal, and protect against cardiovascular disease. Kroger's vision, articulated by their visionary leader, Rodney McMullen, is to change the way America eats. This rallying cry to reimagine our health by what's on our plates is more than just words. Kroger is taking bold actions to achieve this vision. When the White House convened the Conference on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health, it was Rodney and the Kroger Health team who stepped forward. They moved beyond mere conversations, bridging resources with the Rockefeller Foundation and other organizations to help fill critical research gaps within the food as medicine community. Kroger has also provided steadfast support for the Healthy for Good initiative, meeting patients and consumers where they are and weaving health into the fabric of everyday food choices. Rodney is also a critical voice on the association's CEO Roundtable, empowering families, communities, and workforces nationwide to invest in well-being as a business imperative. Here again, Kroger and Kroger Health, under the leadership of Colleen Lintholtz, are leading by example to build a healthy, high-performing workforce of the future. For these reasons and so many more, I'm immensely proud to honor the Kroger Company, a visionary partner in health and a courageous catalyst for change, with the association's Award of Meritorious Achievement. May their example inspire us all to create a healthier, more compassionate world, one plate and one heart at a time. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you. I'm so honored to accept on behalf of Kroger's 430,000 associates. As all of us know, there are so many people across the United States that suffers from illness that could be prevented or slowed by making small changes in the way we eat. Kroger Associates and Kroger is making real change every day. We know that when families have more access to fresh, affordable food, and more access to resources, they become better health outcomes. They have better health outcomes. And Kroger sits at the center of food and pharmacy, which gives us a different perspective on how food directly impacts customers and patients' health. Every Kroger associate plays a critical role in helping our customers live healthier lives. Our dietitians walk aisles with patients to share the best foods to support their personal health needs. In fact, I was in a store earlier today and saw one of our dietitians doing that very thing. Our pharmacists and technicians counsel their patients on how to make sure their diets align with their medications. Our associates keep our shelves stocked and help customers navigate better for them options to support their weekly meal planning. I am so inspired every single day for all the work our teams do to help everybody have a healthier life. And we are so proud to play an important part to support the American Heart Association's goal to improve heart health for all people across the United States. Thank you for celebrating the amazing work our associates do to change the way America eats. And Colleen, you're an amazing partner as well.
Our next award, Meritorious Achievement, goes to Dr. Alice Lichtenstein and will be presented by Dr. Penny Chris Etherton.
It is such an honor and privilege to congratulate Dr. Alice Lichtenstein for being the recipient of the 2024 American Heart Association's Award of Meritorious Achievement. Alice, you have worked tirelessly for more than 4 decades to support the mission of the AHA as a volunteer at all levels, a world-class scientist, and a passionate mentor. Your volunteer activities are so impressive and have been very impactful. In the spirit of brevity, some of the most notable examples include your involvement in the AHA Heart Check program from its inception and your ongoing contributions to improve the program and help Americans eat more healthfully. The research you conducted using NHANES demonstrated better diet quality and health outcomes for individuals who consumed Heart Check eligible foods. Importantly, you have set the standard for chairing and serving on so many AHA committees, including the Nutrition Committee and countless writing committees that resulted in seminal science statements and presidential advisories, all of which have advanced clinical practice. A brief example of very impactful papers include the 2013 AHA-ACC Lifestyle Guideline, the 2021 Dietary Guidance Update, which already has been viewed over 200,000 times, and most recently, the Food is Medicine Presidential Advisory. Alice, your research has been cutting edge and recognized internationally. A most notable example is the clinical nutrition research you conducted on artificial trans fats and CVD risk that led the FDA to ban them from the food supply, with corresponding cardiovascular health benefits. Moreover, your research on dietary fatty acids and CVD risk has informed dietary guidance worldwide. Alice, you've been a model mentor to all of us. With early career scientists, you have always provided such helpful career guidance. Beyond this, any colleague at any career stage could ask you for advice about navigating their career. You've always been so willing to share your wisdom and sage perspectives to help any of us at any time. In closing, Alice, you've been an acclaimed leader for all of us to emulate, to advance science to benefit cardiovascular health. You have been a shining example for mentoring colleagues at all levels to help them advance their careers. On behalf of all of our colleagues, I offer you the most heartfelt congratulations for your well-deserved recognition.
Well, I'd like to give my heartfelt thanks to the American Heart Association for bestowing this award on me, and to those who nominated me, particularly Penny Chris-Etherton, who you just heard from, and all those who have supported me through the years. This is really a momentous honor for me. It's not something I ever would have imagined happening when I started my career. At that point, there was relatively modest expectations, and I went into research with a lot of naivete. I was the first person in my family to go to college and did not exactly get encouragement when I announced to my parents that I would continue for graduate work. The evolution of who or where I am today really is a testament to how much I've enjoyed what I've done and continue to do, and gotten some lucky breaks. Acknowledging that not everything has always been enjoyable, but on balance, the scale has certainly tipped in that direction. I've benefited immensely from the involvement with the American Heart Association in numerous ways. Over the years, I've had the occasion to work with a large number of really smart individuals who have educated me as well as listened to me, many whom have become my friends. Those opportunities resulted in broadening my perspective in a wide range of topics, and also helped me appreciate the view of others, even if we didn't always agree. The work of the American Heart Association has allowed me to merge my research efforts, which I consider my real job, with public health implications. This in turn has helped guide some of my research efforts and enter the realm of what we now refer to as translational science. So, to those of you who have influenced me over the years, both overtly and covertly, who have done it intentionally and unintentionally, please accept my sincerest thank you. I would also like to thank the American Heart Association for serving as a beacon of sound, evidence-based nutrition information, particularly in our current environment, which seems to be an ever-growing sea of false and misleading claims. And of course, I would like to thank my husband, Barry Golden, who particularly at the early stages of my career had more confidence in me than I had in myself. And later on, my children, David and Rachel, and now my grandchildren, Isaiah and Josephine, who ensure on a daily basis that I stay balanced. Lastly, I would like to congratulate all this year's awardees. Personally, I'm looking forward to a lot more years of working with the AHA and consider this not the end, but a beginning of a new phase. And lastly, of course, happy birthday to the American Heart Association on 100 years of outstanding and impactful work. Thank you.
Our final award of Meritorious Achievement this evening goes to two incredible honorees, Doctors Chiadi and Ndumele and Janani Rangaswami. Here to present their award, please welcome Dr. David Doty, followed by Glenda Roberts.
It is my honor to present Dr. Chiadi Ndumele with the American Heart Association's Award of Meritorious Achievement. As I reflect tonight, I'm reminded of a verse in Scripture where the prophet Isaiah tells the people of Jerusalem, there will come a day when no resident will say, I am sick. As we all await the fulfillment of that promise, God has blessed us with people like Dr. Ndumele, whose calling is to serve and to heal. In 2018, I received a devastating diagnosis of inoperable coronary stenosis and heart failure, and was told I would need a heart transplant within 3 years. Dissatisfied with the care I was receiving, I began searching for a new cardiologist. That's when I found Dr. Ndumele, a fellow Harvard Medical School graduate. I learned that he is innovating treatments for cardiovascular kidney metabolic syndrome, which impacts 1 in 3 adults like me. Unfortunately, his scheduler said he was not accepting new patients, but destiny had other ideas. The next day, Dr. Ndumele called me in for an appointment. From the moment we met, my fears faded away. He was kind and empathetic. He reassured me that he and his team would reevaluate my case and find the best treatment plan. He gave me what I needed most, full confidence in my care. At every appointment since then, I'm reminded of just how fortunate I am to be his patient. Dr. Ndumele is not just deserving of the award of meritorious achievement, he defines it with unmatched passion, dedication, and impact. Congratulations, Dr. Ndumele.
As a patient advocate living with cardiovascular, kidney, and metabolic conditions, I have worked with Dr. Janani Rangaswami on several projects related to CKM syndrome. She is passionately committed to strengthening the healthcare system and innovating research to save lives. She achieves this through collaboration with patients, researchers, clinicians, and other partners. Over the past 3 years, we've teamed up on grant applications, workshops, and publications. And with each encounter, my regard for her grows. There are 2 marks of her remarkable character. First, she's gracious, always taking the time to acknowledge the contributions of those who worked with her. When I submitted my first letter of support for participation in a clinical trial, her heartfelt reply made it all worthwhile. It was easy for me to say yes when the next opportunities arose. Next, she's inclusive, always advocating for diverse groups impacted by CKM syndrome to participate in research, and she ensures that they are treated as equal partners. Dr. Rangaswami's contributions to science are extraordinary. She led the writing group for an AHA scientific statement on the interplay between heart and kidney diseases, and she spearheaded the AHA's exploration of the cardiorenal benefits associated with newer diabetes drugs. She leads the way in all her work, including her capacity as chairperson of the AHA's Council of the Kidney and Cardiovascular Disease. It is my honor to present Dr. Janani Rangaswami with the American Heart Association's Award of Meritorious Achievement. Congratulations, Dr. Rangaswami.
I am so overwhelmed and so honored to hear those words and receive this incredible award from the AHA. And I also want to congratulate all the amazing people and organizations being recognized this evening. It was back in 2002 when, as a medical student, I first attended an AHA meeting with my mother, and I was enthralled by the breadth and the depth and the impact of the science that was being presented. And I was just so inspired by the AHA mission to be a force for longer, healthier lives and to do so equitably across the population. And I really knew then and there that I wanted to contribute to the work being done at AHA for years to come. CKM syndrome represents one of the leading public health and clinical challenges of our time due to this close interplay among obesity, diabetes, chronic kidney disease, and cardiovascular disease. And it leads to fragmented healthcare, premature mortality, and striking cardiovascular disparities. So who better to step up to the plate and answer the call to address this challenge but the American Heart Association? So I'm so grateful for the inspiring leadership of Nancy Brown and all of the executive leadership at the AHA and their incredible support of the CKM Health Initiative. And while I'm honored to have helped to lead this work, a key focus of caring for CKM syndrome is team-based care. And this work really would not have been possible if not for our incredible multidisciplinary team of clinicians and scientists from so many specialties and disciplines who dedicated so much of their time, effort, and expertise to the CKM Health Initiative. And I'm particularly grateful to my truly incredible co-awardee, Janani, who was such a wonderful thought partner and collaborator throughout this process. I want to thank Mitch Elkin and Mariel Jessup, who are constant sources of wisdom throughout the process. And I'm actually particularly grateful for the immensely talented and dedicated staff at AHA. There are so many to thank who are part of this, but I want to specifically recognize Radhika Rajgopal Singh, who was by our side for the entire process, and Luli No, who kept everything on track. And you heard from some of our patients, and I just really want to thank them because they really are the people who helped us see the challenges related to CKM syndrome and have inspired our focus on patient-centered holistic care. On some personal notes, I want to thank my mentors and sponsors at Hopkins who have supported my academic journey and my amazing colleagues and friends who provide support and perspective. And I want to specifically thank my family. My amazing mother and my late father, and I'm here because of their vision to come to this country and let their children pursue their dreams and to be of service to others. I want to thank my brilliant brothers for all of their guidance and encouragement. And I want to thank my amazing children who inspire me every day, and my unbelievable wife, who despite her very involved professional life, so graciously and lovingly supported me throughout the CKM Health Initiative and continues to do so every day. And again, I want to thank the AHA for being a place where so much impact happens.
That was so thoughtful and amazing, Chiadi. Thank you. Glenda, it means so much to me. Thank you so much for that thoughtful introduction coming from a patient and a patient leader such as yourself. I'm so deeply honored to receive this award from American Heart, and even more so in the company of Chiadi, who I've really gotten to know so closely and worked alongside on a daily basis with the CKM initiative, which has only commenced, and there is so much more work to be done. Chiadi, you've been a truly outstanding leader, a thought partner, a great friend, and a colleague, and this experience is definitely one of the most memorable professional experiences. And as you rightly said, it takes a team top down. And I really want to thank Mariel Jessup and Mitch Elkind for their impactful leadership all throughout this project and really gave the clarity that this project needed all along. And I fully agree, we simply could not have done this without Radhika Rajgopal Singh. She has been the backbone of this project and the glue that has kept things together, and an equal partner in all aspects along with Chiadi and I all along. And as Chiadi said, we were so privileged to work with this world-class scientific advisory group. And just about every discipline you could imagine came together to make this amazing work possible. But this should come as no surprise because American Heart is truly a pioneer in interdisciplinary medicine and science, and they just bring together cross-disciplinary work in a completely different dimension. So the CKM project was but a natural extension of this concept, which is so central to the mission of the AHA, and I know this work will scale exponentially in the years to come with their support. On a personal note, I want to express my deepest gratitude and love to my parents, who have been foundational in every step and turn in my career. They have made innumerable sacrifices to allow me to be the scholar I have aspired to be. I'm also deeply grateful to my husband and son, who have been a huge support in my career and have been very patient with the unreasonable demands that an academic career can at times place on family. And finally, in my own biased opinion, I have the best research team, the best colleagues, mentees, and most importantly, patients who truly make every bit of this work worthwhile and joyous. Thanks to each and every one of you, and I'm so blessed to have your love and support. Thank you.
Absolutely incredible. Extraordinary people here tonight. And what a delight it is to honor each of you with awards of meritorious achievement. Let's take a look and take a moment to let our audience help recognize their incredible work as well. For those of you watching, we want to hear from you. For those of you who have been already putting your comments in the YouTube chat box, thank you. All you have to do, if you haven't yet, just find the YouTube chat box at the bottom of your screen, type in a word or phrase that you feel captures their contributions. Let's take a look right now. All right, so we have Radhik Singh saying, congratulations, dear Alice, you've been such an amazing mentor and leader. Also, Roy Matthew chiming in tonight saying, truly amazing collaborative leadership from Chiadi, Janani, and Radhika. Thank you all. We really appreciate these comments. I was looking through them earlier, and man, just bring on the energy. Keep it coming. Well, we still have several incredible leaders to recognize, including our Gold Heart awardee, and Healthcare Volunteer of the Year. But before we do, let's go ahead and take a quick break to hear from patients living with cardiovascular kidney metabolic syndrome that have been personally impacted by the AHA's efforts.
When you look at the history, the lack of access or experience, it sort of begins to add up to there's a distance, and it's a distance that we need to close.
My primary, my cardiologist, my nephrologist, they're all connected. They can see each other's notes. So to me, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, everybody's gonna be on the same page. And I didn't find that to always be the case.
It wasn't until I started working with the American Heart Association that I'm hearing CKM syndrome. I'm not crazy for thinking that this is all intertwined. Holy cow, we're being heard.
Our next award this evening recognizes an American Heart Association employee who exemplifies leadership, dedication, and excellence. Here to recognize Gerald Johnson with the Earl B. Beagle Award for Staff Excellence. Please welcome back Nancy Brown.
Passion for the mission, outstanding leadership, and significant impact. These are the hallmarks of the American Heart Association's highest staff honor, the Earl B. Beagle Award for Staff Excellence. Please join me in celebrating this year's recipient, Gerald E. Johnson II. After serving for many years as a valued volunteer leader, Gerald joined our staff team in 2012 as Executive Vice President for Health Equity and Chief Diversity Officer. His unwavering commitment to fostering a diverse, equitable, and inclusive workplace where staff and volunteers feel valued and respected is second to none. He brings humility to courageous conversations and creates teachable moments to build a culture of continuous improvement. Gerald's visionary leadership was instrumental in the establishment of our Office of Health Equity, where he and his team are driving health equity strategy, education, and positioning in collaboration with executives across the association. His passion for improving community health helped launch the association's social impact funds and the Bernard J. Tyson Impact Fund, investing in local innovators, small businesses, and organizations that are breaking down the social and economic barriers to health. As the executive staff lead for the Diversity Leadership Committee, Gerald works hand in hand with key volunteers to uplift organizational priorities and maximize impact while contextualizing our mission within the ever-changing external landscape. Gerald is a sought-after thought leader whose voice not only amplifies the association's commitment to health equity, but also encourages leaders to take up the torch within their own organizations and their communities. Gerald has also helped spark and foster key alliances to drive the movement for equitable and inclusive work cultures worldwide, including with the World Economic Forum's Global Health Equity Network and the Health Equity in the Workforce Initiative with the Deloitte Health Equity Institute and the SHRM Foundation. It is no understatement that the culmination of Gerald's valuable efforts have positioned the AHA as a global leader in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Gerald, the legacy you have built continues to make such a powerful difference across the association. Congratulations, my friend, on this recognition that is so well deserved. Thank you for making an extraordinary impact for everyone everywhere. And thank you for being my valued partner.
And good evening. And Nancy, thank you so much for those kind remarks. And thank you for
voting or approving me to be this year's recipient of the Earl Beagle Award. I'm honored for many reasons, especially knowing all the amazing staff that have won this award before me. And I'm also honored because this is our centennial year, and in the 100th year of the AHA, it is so nice to be attached to such an amazing organization. And it's also really nice to be amongst these amazing volunteers. And ironically, that's how I got my start. You know, as you all know, when you get into the AHA and you learn about the mission, you realize that it's contagious in a good way. It's infectious in a good way. And then you meet some of the staff of the AHA and you realize that there's some of the best people in the world working on an amazing mission. So the decision for me some 12 years ago to join the AHA was one of the best decisions I've ever made. And it all starts, Nancy, with you. So thank you for your leadership in bringing me to the organization and for allowing me to be the inaugural Chief Diversity Officer, and then some years later being the inaugural Executive Vice President for the Office of Health Equity. That privilege, though, is a privilege that I don't take lightly, because, as you know, any award makes you think about the privilege you have to lead amazing teams. And tonight, I want you all to know that I get the privilege of leading an amazing team in the Office of Health Equity, who in their own rights put on their superpowers and help me do the amazing things that this organization is doing in the United States and around the world. I also want you to know that this award, while it's for me, it's for them. And it also recognizes all the leaders at the AHA who lean in every day to pour into me, to listen to me, to help our team evolve the culture of the organization, to think about diversity in ways that are obvious and not so obvious, to think about equity in ways that are obvious and not obvious. And when you think about life expectancy varying some 10, 20, 30 years based on zip codes, if that's not motivation for you to be excited about our mission or the work of the Office of Health Equity, I don't know what to say to you, but I'm excited for it. I also want to say thank you to all the volunteers that I get to work with and all the partners, again, in the United States and around the world, because this equity issue is a global issue. And until everybody everywhere gets to benefit from the best of the AHA, I'm going to continue to stay focused on this, continue to lead a wonderful team in the Office of Health Equity, and continue to work with great leaders that we have here at the AHA, and as well as our volunteers. But I think it's also important to talk about the privilege to think about equity. You know, I'll be brief here, but when you think about the fact that not everyone everywhere has the ability to live a long, healthy life, that to me means opportunity. So our team remains focused. I remain focused. I'm excited about our new vision statement, which is around providing health and hope to everyone everywhere. And if that's not singing the song of equity for everyone everywhere, I don't know what does. So I'm proud to be in this seat. I'm proud to be the recipient of this year's Earl Beagle Award. And I just want to also say as I close, is that none of this happens without great people in your life. You know, when you see me, you know, I'm the recipient of my parents. I think my mom is in New York City. I think she's listening to the call. Mom, if you're listening, thank you for all that you do. My family is paying attention to this in various parts of the country. And then I also want to take a moment to thank my wife, because as you all know, nothing good happens in isolation. I couldn't be the person that I am day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, celebrating my 12 years without the support of my wife, being able to talk to her about this job, because this job at times is heavy. You know, these topics are heavy. You know, this work isn't for everyone. And so I get the privilege of talking to her, bouncing things off of her. My wife, Stephanie, is very supportive of me traveling around the world the way that I do. And I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I do with the AHA without her. So thank you, Stephanie, for all your support. And then lastly, you know, I will say that there's still so much more to do. If you think about providing health and hope to everyone everywhere, well, we're not everywhere yet. And not everyone knows of the value and the benefits of the AHA. And so I'm excited to be part of this team. I'm excited to be a part of this next century. I'm excited to be part of the change and the amazing things that this amazing organization is going to do in our second century. So Nancy, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for the organization for honoring me with this Earl Beagle Award, and just grateful to be part of this amazing team. Thank you.
Our next award is the American Heart Association Healthcare Volunteer of the Year Award. This year's winner is Dr. Steve Manoukian, And joining us to say a few words about his many accomplishments is Dr. Keith Churchwell.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Churchwell. I have the great pleasure and honor to present to my friend of over 30 years and fellow Emory Fellowship alum, Dr. Steve Manoukian, the Healthcare Volunteer Award from the American Heart Association. Steve's vision of a strategic relationship between the American Heart Association and HCA Healthcare leverages the footprint and reach of both organizations and has made an incredible impact in advancing the AHA mission through national and local efforts across the country. What started as a passion to equitably improve patient care while addressing health disparities in local communities led to the development of a new American Heart Association, American Stroke Association national initiative, Getting to the Heart of Stroke, funded by HCA Healthcare and the HCA Healthcare Foundation, thanks to a generous $15.6 million investment. In addition, Steve's leadership led to HCA Healthcare joining as a new National Heart Walk team last year. As one of the top national teams, HCA has recruited 442 Heart Walk teams with more than 4,000 registered participants who have raised almost $1 million to date. This is a great example of not only talking the talk, but also walking the walk. Steve serves on many committees nationwide for the AHA, the Quality Certification Science Committee, Nashville Heart Walk, Mission Lifeline, and Advocacy Coordinating Committee, and the Southeast Strategic Health Initiative Committee. On top of all that committee work, Steve has served in a variety of volunteer roles, including local and regional boards. I am so glad AHA is honoring you, Steve, for your vision and leadership that ensures all patients, regardless of background, have the opportunity to live longer, healthier lives. Steve, this award is well deserved. Congratulations.
Well, Keith, what a fantastic surprise. It feels like yesterday in Atlanta when we were both at Emory that I was awarded Newcomer of the Year for the Heart Association in Atlanta, and you blink and it's 25 plus years later. I really am humbled and thankful to the American Heart Association for awarding this to me, and that's especially true given the thousands and thousands of volunteers across the United States and around the world that are really doing great work. And that can only be done with other great volunteers and the great staff that the Heart Association has. I'm also proud of the work that the Heart Association does. I think that you've heard on this call the diversity of the efforts that the Heart Association has in so many unique ways that when you pair great aspirations along with great passion from investigators and clinicians and lay people volunteers, that you can really move mountains. And that is apparent in Getting to the Heart of Stroke, which very simply was a way to try and connect our cardiology and neurology colleagues to try and determine the cause of a stroke so that a patient wouldn't have another one. And leaving a hospital not knowing the cause of a stroke and perhaps being able to impact that is distressing to the healthcare providers and also to the patient themselves. And so I've been happy and extraordinarily pleased with the progress that we've made so far, and I think we're just scratching the surface. Next I'd say I'm inspired. I'm inspired by this session here, looking at all the great work of other volunteers and other investigators and staff to not only reflect on the last 100 years for the American Heart Association, but really to look forward to the next 100. And I plan on being around for as many of those years as humanly possible. Our CEO, Sam Hazen, has a habit of saying that fundamentally, healthcare is people taking care of people. And it has been a tremendous privilege individually and on behalf of HCA Healthcare and our 300,000 care providers to be a part of that journey in healthcare. They also say that life is a team sport. and no individual can accomplish what they do without the team around them. I'm thankful for folks like you, Keith, for others at Emory, and for others that have helped shape me into the physician and volunteer that I am today. And then I'm also happy for my wife and family and countless others around me that have really shaped me and allowed me to practice what I feel is the greatest profession on earth. So thank you very much for this award, and I look forward to continuing to help the Heart Association achieve its goals.
Our second to last award tonight is the American Heart Association Physician of the Year Award. This year's awardee is Dr. Reggie Robinson, and here to present his award, please welcome Andrea Wongson.
I met Dr. Reginald Robinson in 2012 when we were both speakers at a formal event in Greater Washington. I remember the night vividly because it was snowing heavily. Dr. Robinson was then president of the American Heart Association's Greater Washington Region Board and scheduled to be there. As the new Go Red for Women spokesperson for the region, I had to be there too, even if it meant walking there in an evening gown and heels. But as a heart attack survivor, this mission is personal to me, so I discovered it is to Dr. Robinson. Since our first meeting that snowy night, I've had the pleasure of working with him or being in the audience, listening intently as he dropped seeds of knowledge about the importance of patient-centered, compassionate care. He believes that every person deserves the opportunity for a full, healthy life. Dr. Robinson improves health outcomes by incorporating holistic principles with cutting-edge cardiology while inspiring patients to embrace a healthy lifestyle. Through his medical practice and volunteer service, he builds upon the incredible work to advance health and hope across the Greater Washington region. I asked him recently, how do you balance competing priorities? And he humbly replied with a smile, the American Heart Association makes it easy. Dr. Robinson, congratulations on being the American Heart Association's Physician of the Year. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to mission, the sustained leadership in cardiology, and the infinite wisdom you share in the calm, intentional voice we all love.
Well, thank you, Andrea, and thank you to the American Heart Association. She mentioned easy, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say tonight, and it kept coming up to what it is that drives me back to the American Heart Association over nearly 20 years. It's the why. The why was the core of the American Heart Association's platform, health equity and social determinants of health. The why, my family, who supported me through over 22 plus years of training in cardiology and to throw on 20 plus years of volunteerism. And looking at my family as an example of health equity and social determinants of health and how it impacted them directly. My education. I went to Morehouse College in Atlanta and I pledged Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, and our motto is culture for service and service for humanity. Both at Howard and Howard University College of Medicine and Morehouse, it was expected that all of these degrees that we get, that we use them to support our community, and that none of us would be here without the shoulders that we stand on and the sacrifices that other people made before us. So that made it easy. My training at Temple, in one of the toughest cities in America, Philadelphia, where on full display health equity or health inequities and social determinants of health were on display. And we were taught never to let anyone's zip code dictate how you should treat these people and our patients in the North Philadelphia community. The why, the American Heart Association. I remember hearing Nancy said that someone asked her, why doesn't the American Heart Association stay in its lane? And this is when we were going through the triple pandemic of racial injustice, and the Heart Association was well ahead of the curve looking at racial injustice in America, a financial crisis, and COVID. The organization then took a deep dive into putting equity first, raising record needed dollars, and giving COVID guidelines. The why. the incredible staff that I met over the 20 plus years that I've been a volunteer for the American Heart Association, dating back to Gabrielle Urquhart, Jay Blackwell, Jeremy Beauchamp, Sula Antonil, Nicole Sapio, Kelly Gross, and Gerald, who spoke earlier, who always keeping me knowledgeable about all the things social determinants of health related. The support staff, Joel and Brassville, Kristen DeCapia, Jessica Moyes, Roxana Hoveda, who always voluntells me what I need to do and where I need to be. And keeping me always advocacy ready, Stuart Burlow and Bill Thompson. I never felt unprepared when I had to go in front of anyone or any news media to talk about the Heart Association. And I always found it amazing when you start talking to people in the room, in these boardrooms, that we forget that we don't even actually work for the American Heart Association. It's that kind of feel that draws you into the American Heart Association. And as Andrea said, makes it easy to do these kinds of things and expected to do these kinds of things. And lastly, the why. Without the American Heart Association guidelines, I wouldn't be able to practice cardiology the way I practice it. They put out guidelines over the 100+ years, and I've been practicing a quarter of that time almost in cardiology, sharing with my patients and my community the things that I learned from the guidelines of the American Heart Association. Again, thank you. I'm honored, privileged, and it's a privilege to be recognized by my peers in the American Heart Association.
Congratulations again, Reggie. The final award of the evening is the Gold Heart Award. It is the American Heart Association's highest volunteer honor, recognizing the recipient of a lifetime of transformative contributions. Dr. Rob Califf, Commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, will present the Gold Heart Award to Dr. Bob Harrington.
Hello, I'm Rob Califf, FDA Commissioner, and it's a real honor and a privilege to speak in behalf of Dr. Bob Harrington, my good friend who's made such a difference for the American Heart Association, but well beyond that, for people with cardiovascular disease or wanting to prevent cardiovascular disease, and has been doing it for quite a long time. I still remember vividly the first time I met Dr. Harrington as he showed up at Duke University as a fellow in cardiology. He was dead set on becoming a laboratory investigator, unraveling the mysteries of the coagulation system. But he showed up on my coronary care unit, and it was immediately obvious that Dr. Harrington had an almost unique talent for taking complex information, assembling it, figuring out what it meant, and then very importantly, transmitting it to other people. When I saw this talent, we had some very interesting interactions during the early part of his fellowship, where I encouraged him to take a broader role than just the laboratory. And he took that seriously and went far beyond the laboratory into an expansive role, working in the cath lab, being a clinical cardiologist, learning about clinical trials, leading clinical trials, and eventually leading to a very broad role in cardiovascular medicine, including quality, healthcare systems, and getting linked up with the American Heart Association as a volunteer, then eventually as a leader in the clinical practice guidelines arena, getting to know the leadership at the AHA, and moving on to a tremendous position of leadership, eventually leading to the presidency. Now, this could be seen as climbing the ladder, or you could look at it as I do, as someone with an amazing talent, putting that talent to work on behalf of other people. It's not just that he's able to deal with so much information, but it's also deeply rooted in his ability to motivate other people to do the work that makes them better at what they do. His ability to take trainees, to teach them and have them go on to do great things, to deal with regular people every day out in the community, have them see that they can do things differently and improve their health. and also dealing with people like the board of the American Heart Association and public policy. I've seen him make a big difference all the way around. But, you know, some people lead by going with the flow, by figuring out what other people want and then trying to make it happen. But I've also seen a characteristic in Dr. Harrington that I think is just a tremendous characteristic, and that's the ability to see where things are going wrong, where people maybe are headed the wrong direction, to speak up and to lead, to move the organization in a different direction. His influence in that regard, with regard to building the clinical research enterprise in our country, with regard to paying attention to public health across our academic medical centers, has been something to behold. And of course, behind it all is a tremendous family. It's been great knowing his wife, Rhonda, quite well as a leading physician's assistant, her ability to work with Bob to give him maybe insight into areas that he wouldn't otherwise normally think about has been a great asset. And of course, I think anytime you got 4 daughters, you think a bit differently. As I've noticed with him, he gets a lot of input into thinking the right way. So in summary, the world is better off because of Dr. Harrington. He's well deserving of this honor. And I'm sure that he won't use it just to have an honor on his desk, but as a podium to motivate other people to do the best that they can do on behalf of people with heart disease or in the world wanting to prevent heart disease altogether. Congratulations, Bob, and I know you'll do well with this award.
Well, this is going to be the rarity where I'm just about speechless. I thought I knew what I was going to say. I have my remarks written out here. But Rob, you caught me off guard. And that's not something that often happens. This is an incredible honor for me to receive this from the American Heart Association, a volunteer now that I've counted for 34 years. But it means more, Rob, getting it from you. And you've been a guiding light for me in the way I've approached clinical medicine. You've been a guiding light for the way I've approached research and the way that I've tried to use evidence, use information to make care better for our patients, to make care better for the public. And, you know, you told me a long time ago that what we do is pretty simple. What we're trying to do is provide the best possible information for clinical people to make decisions. So this is tremendous to get this award, but it means even more to me to get it from somebody whose perspective I've followed for these many years and who has guided me through many times. Nancy, I want to thank you that the opportunity to work with the AHA is really, truly one of the highlights of my both professional and personal lives. Your friendship, your support, your leadership, your mentorship of me as I've tried to traverse not just the American Heart Association, but the many other things I've been doing is something that I'm forever grateful for. I admire you greatly. One of the great leaders in American medicine that I've come across. To my good friend Joe Wu, Joe, work hard, work smart, work together. That's what I've learned from you, and your many trainees. And it's the working together that I've watched you so much. Marcia, you have a calmness about you that's almost unreal, and I appreciate your steady hand at the AHA and helping us get through this first century so that we can really do some cool stuff in the second century. The AHA staff, I wish I could list everyone. Al Royse, I thought, was going to try with the 3,000 plus, and I wish I could list all 3,000. The people that I work with on the board, the people that I've worked with in research, in science, in education, in advocacy, in health technology, just an incredible group of people. Nancy, how you've assembled such a winning team all the time, year after year, is truly one of your extraordinary achievements. My friendships throughout the AHA, on the board, in the committees, on the councils, has been one of the great joys of my professional life. And I, again, thank all of you for the guidance, support, help that you've given me throughout these many years. I've been very fortunate to work at 3 great academic medical centers over the course of the 34 years. The first one, Dr. Califf has alluded to, I met him as a fellow, one of my early days at Duke. And it was really at Duke where I learned to become a cardiologist. I learned to become a researcher. I developed as a professional, and I think I developed as a person during those years at Duke. And I value greatly my friendships at Duke and the support I've always gotten from my colleagues at Duke over the years, and in particular through the Duke Clinical Research Institute. I spent 11 years at Stanford, which were fabulous years. And I have nothing but great memories for working at Stanford with people like Joe. And I give my Stanford colleagues a lot of credit because they allowed me to be scientific sessions chair. They allowed me to serve as an AHA officer. They even allowed me to be the president of the AHA, including at the beginning of a global pandemic when we were trying to work all day at Stanford while at the same time working all day at the AHA. So thank you to all my great colleagues at Stanford. And although I've only been at Weill Cornell 7 or 8 months now, Nancy knows the story, that hanging outside my office is a picture, coincidentally, of the second chair of medicine at Weill Cornell, who's Lewis Conner. Lewis Conner, one of the 6 founders of the AHA, who signed the original documents of incorporation at the Drake Hotel that we're going to celebrate in June. His picture hangs outside my office that I get to look at him every day. And I've taken probably a half a dozen pictures of AHA people that come to visit me to say, look at this. How coincidental at the end of our first 100 years, I have the picture of Lewis Conner outside my office at Weill Cornell. So, how coincidental is that? Maybe not. And finally, Rob has made reference to it that I could do none of this without a supportive, loving family. Rhonda, my partner, my wife, my friend, my best friend, the person who makes everything I do possible, who keeps me on track. There's no question about that. But she also shares this passion with me for the Heart Association and for trying to rid the world of heart disease and stroke. 4 wonderful daughters who support their dad in everything he does. 2, soon to be 3 son-in-laws who also put up with their father-in-law, his jokes, his stories, his love for Boston sports. And maybe most importantly, these 6 beautiful grandchildren who really remind me every day why we do what we do, to rid the world of heart disease and stroke, to be a relentless force, to be bold, to make things better, to give that information that Rob taught me long ago that really helps us take better care of each other and helps us do something good for the public health. So thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Marcia. Rob, you almost made me speechless. Thank you so much.
Absolutely an amazing night, right? I told you we were going to have a great night in store for you. Now, before we go, we have one last celebration to call out. Did you know that this year on June 10th, the American Heart Association is going to be celebrating its 100th birthday? That's right. For 100 years, the American Heart Association has made an extraordinary impact as a relentless force for longer, healthier lives. Now that is something to celebrate. Let's take a look at how we're honoring this incredible special year for our mission and how we're building momentum for our 2nd century.
In 1924, our founders had a singular thought: to save people with heart disease. With a bold vision and audacious goals, they set out on a mission that would change the world. Working alongside a global family of volunteers, donors, and advocates, we have transformed the way the world understands, treats, and prevents cardiovascular disease and stroke. We've advocated for the rights of patients and their families, and we funded scientific research that has saved millions of lives. There are so many incredible achievements to celebrate, and yet we're not stopping there. In fact, we're just getting started. As we celebrate our 100th birthday, we're partnering with you to bring our centennial to life in ways that get even more people excited and engaged about our mission. From heart walks in Cycle Nation to the glitz and glamour of heart balls to companies in schools and community events, we're celebrating how much we've achieved together and all the bold hearts that make it possible. We're expressing our gratitude to our donors and community partners who fuel our mission and casting an even bolder vision for our future as we together continue to fuel science and innovation, fund life-saving research, and make a difference in communities that need us most. Join us on the journey.
Now, if I don't know about you, but that is some amazing momentum, okay? And we're gonna make this second century a hit. A century of progress against cardiovascular disease, all made possible by our volunteers, supporters, staff, and partners like those we honor tonight. A special thank you to Marcia, Joe, and Nancy for hosting. I know each of you would like to close with your own thoughts tonight. We'll start with you, Marcia.
That we've had together celebrating our awardees. Congratulations to each and every one of you for those that have been recognized this evening. And I know, as many of us have spoken about before, we have only just begun to really make a difference in this second century.
Thank you, Kristen. I know that it's taken bold moves and a relentless spirit by all honorees to achieve such amazing accomplishments. I know we have all been truly inspired by the stories we've heard tonight. So to our honorees, thank you, all of you.
And I would just like to add my congratulations to just incredible AHA volunteers and to our staff leader, Gerald Johnson, for everything they've done to make the American Heart Association the strong, enduring organization that we are. The impact that you have made is undeniable. We're so very proud of it, and it's an honor and a privilege to work alongside you, as it is Marcia and Joe to work alongside both of you. So, Kristen, I'm going to turn it back to you to close us out for tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thanks to everyone who joined us tonight. What an honor it is to witness the life-saving and transformative work of each of our awardees. Their commitment to the American Heart Association's mission is undeniable, and we are so grateful for the opportunity to be able to recognize each of them. Tonight's event is available on demand, so please rewatch it and share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Put it on social media. From my heart to yours. Congratulations to all of the awardees, and thank you to the presenters who did an incredible job highlighting why our awardees are so deserving. Good night.